What do we call it? Start a stir, that's what. Hello and welcome to this week's A Star to Steer Her By, episode second to last TAS.
Thank you, Jesus.
Also number 48.
Woo!
I am Ames. I am joined by
Caitlin.
Jake.
And Chris.
Mostly, I'm happy that we're almost done with TAS, because holy fucking crow, guys. This week, we are talking about the episodes Bem, The Practical Joker, and Albatross. I keep forgetting this one's called Albatross.
Albatross!
I looked down at my notes, I'm like, oh my god, did we watch this one out of order? Oh no, it was Albatross.
Albert Ross.
Sounds right.
Cool. Let me synopsize these. I'll try to be quick. I'm sure we won't be. In Bem, our final David Gerald script, who was the writer of Tribbles, we meet Commander Ari Ben Bem, who is a representative from the newly contacted people of the planet Pandro, and he's palling around with us because, you know, the Federation is showing these guys what Federationing is. So they're bringing Bem on an excursion to Delta Theta 3, a newly discovered Class M planet that they want to check out, and it apparently has all these, you know, developing aboriginal-type life form lizard monsters, which Prime Directive says, don't fuck with the lizard monsters. They decide, we're going down here anyway, and Bem, you're coming with us because you've been slacking off lately, and we've got to show you what Federationing means.
Well, Bem insists on
Kirk
going.
didn't want to take him.
Oh, really? Is that what happened?
Yeah, Kirk was like, you've been slacking all this time, and this is the one you insist on... Fine.
Oh.
Strange to be adamant, or remain adamant now, or whatever the fuck he said.
Alright, so
But
Bem...
yes, he had been slacking.
Okay, he's the worst, basically.
Yeah.
Bem is the fucking
Oh,
worst.
yeah, no, seconded. For
Yeah.
sure.
They bring Bem with them to check out this planet and see what's going on. Immediately, Bem gets himself fucking lost, and Kirk and Spock have to go find him from wherever the fuck he went. We see as he's running through some forest that he's actually a colony-type creature that can break himself up into his parts. Like, his head floats, or his arms float, or whatever else.
And he's got weird little arms inside his torso, which is really weird.
Yeah, that pop out from the belt of his pants.
Dick.
It's a dick-stroking arm?
No, it's those are his dicks.
No!
Those arms.
No.
Prehensile dicks.
Does your dick have a thumb on it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Posable dick thumb.
That's weird.
This has gotten strange.
So soon.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Bem gets himself captured by the primitive reptile people. Everyone else from the Enterprise says, well, Kirk's been out too long, but we have to go by the book, and that means we fucking leave. We go back up to the ship, and we figure out what to do from there. It's Kirk and Spock stranded on the planet. They go down and try to rescue Bem, but then they get themselves captured, and they realize that Bem has stolen their communicators and phasers and replaced them with non-working child's toys because he's just a fucking asshole. He claims it because he's a pacifist and thinks you should be able to function without using phasers and communicators, but he's really just a fucking asshole, buzzkill, asswipe.
Correct.
All of this is correct.
Yep.
They break out, but then they get captured immediately again. I forget how and why. I don't care.
It doesn't matter.
Because of the...
Oh yeah, the voice actually doesn't matter.
Because Uhura...
Oh, yeah.
God mode Uhura catches them.
Yes. Oh, Nichelle Nichols voices a god entity that protects her children of the planet, the reptile monsters who are, you know, supposed to be left alone. Which makes sense. You should have left them the fuck alone. You should have just left Bem fucking get himself killed. Who the fuck cares?
I wish the rest of the episode had just been like, however much was left, like 18 minutes of the natives brutally slaughtering Bem.
But every time they chop him in a piece, we just find out that they just chopped him along a seam line. And there's actually two.
So it was really drawn out and painful for him, and a lot of screaming.
Great.
Wow.
I'd be for that.
Star Trek the snuff film, eh?
Only if it's Bem.
Only if it's Bem. What happens after
They decide to make their communicators touch dicks in order to get in touch with the...
Well, no, this is after Bem is all judgy at them. It's like, you guys suck!
Yeah,
and then he floats
that's
away.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, Bem just walks away.
Okay. This is sad.
Because he can walk out of the jail cell.
This one thinks you are a bunch of cunts.
Yeah, so Ben just fucking leaves because they weren't doing a great job of saving him or keeping from breaking the Prime Directive, even though it was his own fucking fault. Kirk spoons their communicators together so that he can talk to the god entity. It was spooning.
No, they were back to back.
They were actually.
They were
I thought they were spooning.
Yeah, no, Jake's not being a wise ass this time. I mean, he is, but...
I prefer to think of it as touching dicks.
You usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they contact the god entity somehow using the communicators. They convince Nichelle Nichols that they'll just leave. They'll not say anything. They'll put a quarantine on this planet because it's Prime Directive proof. But they realize, but we gotta fucking save Ben because he'll fuck it up even more if we leave him down here. And he's run off in his various parts. So they call a away team down to find him. The away team immediately gets attacked by reptile monsters and have to stun them, which they don't like because that's mean. The god creature gets pissed because says, why are you still fucking here? I told you said you'd leave, but you're here and you brought friends. You're fucking fired out of the sun multiple times. But then Bem's there and they say, okay, well, here's Bem. We'll just leave because we don't want to do any more harm. Bem's learned his lesson. Bem wants to commit suicide because he's learned his lesson and thinks he's done bad.
Is he part Orion?
Apparently, everybody in this fucking universe will just off themselves if they've done wrong. But the god entity convinces Bem not to kill himself.
Stupid
Fuck you,
god
god entity.
Yeah.
And then they leave and Bem is sad. Fuck that episode.
Yeah, fuck it so much.
In The Practical Joker, I have very few notes because there weren't very many proper nouns to have to take down for this one because they just meet some random Romulans flying their Klingon ships like they do. Mm-hmm. The Romulans get pissed off, say, you've invaded neutral and or Romulan space, which I don't even think happened in their dicks.
Yep.
You're under arrest. And then a chase ensues. The Enterprise flies into a weird big fireworks cloud on 4th of July times. And when the Enterprise comes out of it, weird shit starts happening all over the ship. Everyone tries to drink from their glasses and dribble down their fucking chins because everyone has a drinking problem, a la Airplane. Forks bend away from your mouth. Scotty gets a pie in the face. All kinds of weird shit keeps happening as if a practical Joker has been let run amok all over the ship.
The holodeck tries to murder some people.
Yeah, we meet the holodeck. McCoy, Sulu, and Uhura want to go for a nice jaunt in the woods / orgy. And it starts trying to kill them various ways. They fall down a tiger trap. It becomes negative 20 degrees in the Arctic in there because the computer's having a fucking laugh. The hallways of the Enterprise become an ice skating rink. And they realize, it's the computer. The computer is the one who is being a practical Joker. Going through that cloud must have fucked it up. And now it has a personality of its own. Damn you, Majel Barrett. The Romulans reappear again, and the Enterprise computer ejects a giant balloon in the shape of the Enterprise, which the Romulans attack like it's a fucking piñata, but no candy comes out, which is a shame.
Bullshit. That's the real reason they were pissed.
Just more
I'd be
giggles
pissed.
from Majel Barrett.
So much giggling this episode. It was really unfortunate.
There was a lot of it. Not just
know.
Majel Barrett. Everybody was getting on the giggle game.
She released nitrous oxide all over the bridge, and everyone had to have fucking giggle fits.
Neurotoxin.
Yikes!
Except for Spock, who just got.
Yeah, apparently it's lethal to Vulcans because he passed out.
Whoops!
But luckily was able to activate the emergency air supply right before it killed him.
Thanks, Spock.
Oh man, you forgot about when he looked into the suspicious instrument that was left in his panel that gave him those ink eyes, like the kids used to do with the fake binoculars and all.
Spock, you're the butt end of a joke. Like you usually are whenever you talk to McCoy. Yep. So the Romulans are now pissed because now they feel like fools because they attacked a balloon. And they chase the Enterprise
suicide
until Kirk is suddenly terrified. Oh my god, no, we can't go back into the cloud. I'm just so scared of what would happen. And the Enterprise decides on its own, let's fly into the cloud and freak Kirk out because it's funny. So we fly back into the cloud and it reverses all the effects on the Enterprise. Everybody's okay again. Hooray. It's fine. But the Romulans go in and now they're stuck with computers with minds of their own. and they don't want any of it. End of episode.
No. There was that wonderful musical sting that you loved, and then end of episode.
Fuck that episode.
Oh, I knew you wouldn't like it.
I liked parts of it. The musical sting made it bad in my book. In Albatross, the final of the 3 this week.
Albatross!
I don't understand why you keep saying that.
Oh, it's Monty Python Live at the Hollywood Bowl. There was a sketch that started with one of them dressed as like a vendor going through the crowd trying to sell an albatross.
Oh.
Sorry, esoteric reference. I apologize.
That's terrible.
I just didn't understand.
All right, and in Albatross, we are on planet Dramia, and all of a sudden, as we're in the middle of some kind of press conference or something, McCoy is under arrest for supposedly supervising an inoculation program 19 years ago, which started a plague and killed an entire fucking planet.
Fucking anti-vaxxers.
Second week in a row with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so McCoy is in prison for most of the episode, and we're trying to figure out if McCoy actually got all these people killed, or if it was just some weird coincidence. So Detective Kirk is on the case. He brings Spock along, because of course he does, and they go to check out Planet Dramia 2, where all this happened, and see what happened. They went there, they find a survivor who attacks them because they're humans, and the guy who caused all this was a human, so he automatically hates him. They had accidentally brought along Demos, the Dramian head of security, who stowed away on the Enterprise to see what was going on. And they're all like, well, everything's bad, McCoy fucked everything up, until an actual survivor of the plague shows up and says, no, McCoy is our friend. McCoy saved me. This was our friend Cole Ty, who survived because McCoy had given him an inoculation for something just beforehand, and they realized, oh, well, McCoy tried to help, therefore he can't also hurt. Let's bring this guy back to Planet Dramia 1 and have him testify to this effect. However, like, the second they got on the Enterprise, Cole Ty gets the fucking plague, his skin starts turning blue, which was the fucking side effect of plague.
Yeah,
blue, then
stage
green,
1.
then red.
Oof. Was red the bad one?
I think it's the worst one. It must be.
And they realize, oh shit, something bad is happening. We have to keep him alive. But now everyone on the Enterprise also has the plague, and Kirk turns blue, and Sulu turns blue, and Bress and everybody else. Everyone turns blue except Spock because Vulcan.
Because of course they're immune.
Copper blood. Well, let's be fair. Last week there was something he was not immune to that everybody else was immune to. You know?
That's true.
Yeah, and also if laughing gas will kill him, that's bad too.
Still, that's 2 out of how many?
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many. Yeah, so Spock, in a very uncharacteristically Spock activity, breaks McCoy out of jail. And, like, neck pinches a guard and breaks in, and then, against McCoy's will, takes McCoy out to find the antidote for this fucking plague, because together they realize, wait a minute, the fact that everyone's skin is turning colors is because we went through an aurora, and it's a disease that we can treat with whatever fucking thing we treated Cold Tie with 19 years ago. I guess. So that's the thing that happened, and everyone forgives McCoy and make them their best friend and have all kinds of days in his honor, as any normal person would. Yay!
Yeah, why haven't we set up any holidays in honor of Dr. McCoy yet, Ames?
I was going to have it be a surprise, Caitlin.
Oh, sorry.
Now I can't cosplay as McCoy and surprise you.
I mean, you still could.
Okay. So, yep.
Yeah, those are some garbage.
All right, good episode.
Yeah.
Bem.
Bam. Fucking
Bam.
Bem.
More like BM.
Close.
Like bowel movement?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bem, I think we should all feel very lucky that this show didn't last much longer. Because I feel like someone at the network would have gone, you know, kids love wacky alien sidekicks. And they would have made him like a regular crew member who now would still continue to cause issues, but this time out of like a genuine wish to help. But it would be like, oh, Bem, you mean well, but fuck up.
It would be like Data. It would be like how Data like learns how to human, but then forgets how to human, and they have to keep teaching Data how to human.
I think he'd be more like Harry Mudd.
More annoying.
Yeah, I just feel like he's more like Slimer in the real Ghostbusters.
When you say like more like Harry Mudd, do you mean that he would fuck lots of robot women?
Yep. Oh. With all his very many dick finger hands.
Dick fingers.
Cock detaches, or...
Clearly.
Do we think he has a cock? If he's a colony creature, he probably doesn't... I mean...
Yeah, no, Bem is like the epitome of the annoying, like, wacky sidekick in a children's cartoon show, except at least with him, they admit he's a malicious fuck.
No,
I fucking hated Bem.
I don't think he was whimsical enough to be...
Well, that's the thing. If he hadn't been malicious, they would have made a whimsical version of him.
I don't know if he's necessarily malicious as much as he is, like, he's got his own fucking prerogative.
It's a terrible prerogative.
It's really fucking dumb.
Here's how they came up with this episode. Someone at the animation company was like, you know how we keep fucking things up and having, like, disconnected doors and random misalignments of plates? Why don't we just turn that into a character? So we can have his head floating one way and his torso comes off.
I'd believe it.
Yep. No, BEM actually, it's an old sci-fi trope, the BEM. It stands for Bug-Eyed Monster. Oh. And David Gerald thought it would be cool to name a character BEM.
Well,
why did he have to make him, like, Muslim? Like, isn't his full name Ali bin Bem?
Ali bin Bem, yes.
That sounds fairly... That's like... I think of...
You got me. It's alien. Who knows?
Apparently, whoever's written this show thought it sounded alien.
It's funny.
I think it's racist. Speaking of Bum's eyes, do you notice his eyebrows were like...
Yeah, like a whole section of his forehead?
Yeah, like it wrapped around his head.
Yeah, it was awkward.
It was really weird looking.
Strange.
It made like when you furrow your eyebrow, only like these like surface areas move. It was weird.
Yeah, they put more effort into animating this motherfucker's eyebrows than literally anything else in the entire history of the show.
Combined.
Yeah. It's...
I don't know. In the next episode, Kirk and Spock have a nice figure skating.
That's true. They
doubles section.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the lizard monsters in this were pretty well done.
Yeah.
Especially when they fucking started getting shot with the phasers. They looked fucking horrified and turned tail and ran away. Felt bad for them in that moment. Also, I was reminded of Gaia from, what do you call it? Captain Planet with Nichelle Nichols' lovely
God voice.
Lovely goddess voice ringing out. I was like, that's kind of nice.
David Gerald specifically requested Nichelle Nichols play the godlike.
And they were like, that's great because we only have the budget to hire 2 female actors on the show, and that's one of them.
God, imagine if it had been Majel Barrett yet again, though.
Oh, we've heard that voice, though.
Yeah,
we've heard it many times.
I feel like she doesn't quite have the
the etherealness.
Like somebody specific, I'd really like to get Nichelle Nichols for this part. You think she'd come out of retirement to do this part on the show?
I mean, who else would they give it to? Doohan?
like, why would you specially request that? It just seems like, okay, one of the 2 women.
Well, maybe not. Maybe they didn't consider while it was being writing that it was a woman necessarily.
Or again, just a guarantee. Like, no. If it's one of the 2, I want this one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I like to imagine though if going back to Monty Python, if Doohan had done it, but they wanted a woman, he just another bad pepper pot voice.
Oh.
Ow! Stop hurting my children!
What are you doing?
Why are you still here?
What are you guys doing?
I'll give you
Nailed
that one.
it.
Oh, God. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I mean, holy shit, Deus Ex Machina in the most literal sense, huh?
Yeah, and that was Roddenberry's idea. Roddenberry made Gerald put it in.
Fuck's sake, of course he fucking did.
Of course he fucking did.
Like, that literally only existed to solve the problem of the episode.
Of how to get out of the episode?
Here's how you get out of the fucking episode, by the way.
Let Bem destroy himself?
That too.
Yep,
Those cages didn't have floors.
That's what I was saying. You just lift the fucking thing up.
Yeah, they look like pretty lightweight wood. Since there's no floor, they could have just all gone, whoop!
I mean,
hell, they could have lifted them up a little and ran while holding them to have some minor protection.
That would have been a little Scooby-Doo goofiness if they would have done that.
Yeah, because this episode was so serious.
Oy.
I mean...
Row.
Fucking
Should
Bem.
have been Bem's voice.
Yeah, no, next fanfic challenge, I don't care what the rules are, I'm just writing one where he dies horribly for hours.
You're always welcome to add whomever you would like into the fanfic, as long as you keep the people that you draw.
Great. It's going to be... I feel like the next time all 4 should just write a different version of Bem getting horribly murdered.
I would like to use his goofy, weird arms and use him as a jump rope. That would be fun.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck was Bem's plan? Because, like, he said that...
He wanted to observe the primitive people for some stupid reason. Even though it's fucking Prime Directive season, and you should leave them the fuck alone.
And he fucking specifically went out of his way to separate himself from the group.
And take the fucking...
And take the communicators.
Well, he wanted to see how they would behave. That was the point. The purpose was to observe, right?
Is he observing the inhabitants of the planet, or is he observing the Enterprise crew?
The Enterprise crew.
Oh.
He's observing how they react to him fucking up their stees.
Step 1, be a little bitch. Step 2, question marks. Step 3, profit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or in the words of Jeff Goldblum, there is no step 3. There's no step 3. There's no step 3.
What the hell is that
That is super familiar, but I cannot.
That was from the original iMac television commercial.
Oh shit, that's right.
Where Jeff Goldblum narrates, and it's like, how to get online with your new iMac. Step 1, plug it in. Step 2, get connected. Step 3, there's no step 3. There's no step 3. And then he laughs, and it's funny.
What a nut job.
Yeah. I'm sure he didn't write the script.
Oh, I mean...
I don't know. He might have.
Yeah, there probably was a step 3, and he it was on the next page. So he'd be like turning it.
And meanwhile, the people at Mac are like, "Oh fuck, we need to redesign those sheets so there's no step 3."
Oh no!
Well, because get connected. I think
it's a lot of steps.
Yeah,
that can be several steps.
Because plug it in and get connected. Like that's like.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of steps in there.
That involves bringing in your cable or internet service provider.
You have to come up with a Wi-Fi password.
Yeah.
This was before.
Yeah, this would have been a.
I'm pretty sure the visual.
When by get connected, they just meant like plug in an Ethernet cable.
Well, that's when they showed the plug it in was plugging the power in. Get connected was plugging the phone in because it was modem.
Yeah. Oh god.
And then. Step 3 was there's no step 3, but
step 3 was laugh.
There's a lot more.
Yeah,
just
part
plugging in the modem.
Back then, part of step 2 was probably get your AOL subscription set up.
Yeah.
Well,
do you think he wrote the script though for that little insult he appeared for at the end of the Jurassic Park game?
What was that?
Oh, you hadn't heard of this?
No.
So there was a Jurassic Park game for. It had to have been one of the disc-based ones, so either PS1 or Sega CD or something. But if you, beat the game on, the hardest mode and 100%ed it or something like that, this little video clip would start and oh shit, it's Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian Malcolm. But then what you get is a little video recording from him being basically, great, good for you. Go outside, you fucking loser.
What, really?
I mean, he literally did say go outside. The reward for doing all this shit was basically Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm calling you a loser.
That's okay, I would like that.
Jeff Goldblum.
I just kind of wonder if he wrote it, because that'd be amazing. Sorry, this has been Jeff Goldblum Corner. Where were we?
Jurassic Park Corner, the second week in a row.
Yeah.
We've done it many a time, though. Now we're still there. This corner is most of the house.
So yeah, but
what else in BEM?
nothing good.
Not much.
His hair was dumb. He had a little arrow in his sideburns.
I'm theorizing that BEM was a sort of a prototype for what would eventually become Neelix.
Yeah, you said
Based on his hair and his general loathsomeness,
goofiness,
just wanting to murder himness.
Yeah.
Although Neelix is more like what I was saying. He means well.
Who's Neelix?
He's from Voyager. He's terrible. But yeah, it does seem like a similar kind of thing, though. Just, again, without the sort of weird agenda. He just wants to cook and wear dumb shirts.
And bang Cass.
Yes.
That's all he wanted to do was bang Cass.
Yep.
But she was 6 years old.
Yeah, creepy space pedo.
I'm sorry, what?
I mean,
this is totally who I thought you were talking about, too. Because based on the hair. I've seen pictures of this guy before.
Yeah, no, everyone hates him.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's awful.
I don't like his creepy-ass contacts.
Yeah, there's nothing good about him.
The makeup job was good.
He's like a fucking horrible, vomited-up 80s compilation. Oh. God.
Yeah, just so you know, these are...
Why the fuck is he wearing a tablecloth?
Because he's a chef, and that's all he had.
It's like in The Sound of Music. Another one! I've seen this upholstery on the fucking MBTA. What the fuck is he wearing? What? Tell Bill Cosby we found one of his fucking hats. What is happening here?
This is amazing.
I would.
Caitlin
This is the
discovers
most
Neelix.
sensible thing I've ever seen him wear.
You're gonna love Voyager. He's in like every episode.
I hate him. Why? Okay, what is with this fur coat? Did he fucking eat Liza Minnelli and steal her fucking clothes? What the fuck is going on?
Something's wrong with Chris.
Why is this woman kissing him?
Let me see the woman.
It's Cass.
Is it Kess? Yeah, that's his like 6-year-old girlfriend.
Okay, we need to. Please, this is gonna knock me out. Please stop. This is amazing, but do me a favor. Save every single one of those photos in the order you saw them. I need to post them on the Facebook in order so people can sort of follow along and understand.
I mean, all you have to do is Google search Voyager Neelix. Like, I don't know. All right. Okay, this was the tablecloth. Okay, fine. Let me try.
Yeah,
to do
you
this
deal
right
with
now.
that while we continue talking about them.
You deal with that. Okay.
Oh,
I will.
Deal with it.
I am so unamused.
Sorry, thoughts on Bem?
Bam.
That was better than this conversation.
Wow.
I don't know. This was kind of amazing. See, it's because you're not a crossroads. You couldn't watch her face as
That's
she...
fine. Well, the thing is, I could also see the pictures.
Oh, see, yeah.
So I feel like that's very different.
Yeah, see, it less.
And the audience, like the listeners, can't see her face.
True.
Or the pictures.
But they know what Neelix looks like.
True.
So they will be able
Do
to...
not all of them do.
Well, that's
Caitlin
fine.
didn't.
Audience...
Well, no, I did. I just didn't know his name was Neelix.
Go to Bing.com and search for Neelix.
Bing.
Search for Google.com.
Go to AskJeeves.com and look up, wait, is it not 1996 anymore?
So back to Bem.
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like as every episode, as is the new trend is to harp on the animation because the animation is always terrible. There was extra use of running in silhouette even while close up.
Yep.
And then doing extreme close-ups of people's faces,
Yep.
so that you literally only see up Kirk's nose
Yep.
while he's talking, and I don't know why.
I don't know if that was this episode or one of the other ones,
There have
but
been a couple of
did
instances,
notice.
but it's becoming more noticeable.
It might have been this one where they did like an extreme close-up on Spock's face while Kirk was talking, which I thought was odd.
So they don't have to animate Kirk's mouth.
I guess so.
But yeah, no, because I began to notice in these ones, like, oh, I just noticed that Eric's has square nostrils.
Ooh.
Because they're apparently zooming in, like you said, on faces a lot closer, so... Although his mouth was animated during that. But still, yeah, square nostrils.
Who had?
Eric's.
But yeah, and also I finally noticed, they may have done it a million times now, I only noticed it during these episodes, that whenever they're animating a world, it's basically just a circle cut out, underneath which they have like a marble counter graphic moving across underneath, and it was very
I
distracting.
think that's new this season, though, because I feel like the planets were actually better.
I feel like they just didn't bother giving them any kind of effect last season. I think they were just still images.
Yeah, I think there's paintings of planets. But
I do feel like occasionally in TOS, though, being fair, they did do sort of the live-action equivalent of that in the non-remastered version.
Yeah, the remasters all look really good, so I don't know.
But I feel like occasionally there was just this, like, yeah, you clearly just cut, like, a hole out and just have, like, a colored thing being passed underneath
just
it.
a gobo moving along.
Yeah. Then a lot of times you could tell it's just a globe of the Earth. They had, like, put at a weird angle and then, like, put a tint over later. And it's like, look, despite the fact that it's at a funky angle and colored bright green, I can see that that's South America. Any final thoughts on Bem?
Kill it dead.
Yeah,
I would
seriously.
agree.
Why did they stop him killing himself?
No, Bem is the galaxy's greatest monster.
Yeah.
Oh no,
and
that
what
was
the fuck were they doing on Delta Theta 3 in the first fucking place?
Well, they were supposed to set up, like, remote just monitoring stations so they could watch the culture without interfering, which we always know how well that goes.
It always goes so well.
Well, this is
Super well.
See, this is the first in a long line. Actually, so is the next episode. But this is the first in a long line of repeated Star Trek tropes of the observing a primitive culture going horribly wrong.
Yeah. But wait, how does the Practical Joker have...
Well, oh no, that's not that. Well, that's a different trope,
Oh, I see.
which
The
is
holodeck
the
trying to
holodeck
kill
tries
people?
to kill you.
Yeah, the first major... appearance of the holodeck, the first holodeck malfunction.
I love whenever the holodeck tries to kill people. I don't know why, but I enjoy it thoroughly.
so that kind of fun is okay.
That's the best fun. That's the best kind of fun.
I may have mentioned this on an episode, and if so, stop me and I'll just cut this. But back in the day, I was reading one of the New Frontier novels. And these were novels by a guy named Peter David. He's a big comic book and science fiction author. And it was just the adventures of this fucking crew, of the USS Excalibur. And it was like some new characters, some characters dredged back up from TNG and shit like that. But in one of the episodes, they're going over sort of the backstory and the rise of the captain. And one of his early assignments, one of the ships he's on, the security chief is killed because she is effectively playing the Avengers in the holodeck, but turned off the safeties.
Whoops.
So she actually does get killed by the holodeck, but not because of a malfunction, but because she turned the safeties off.
I feel like the holodeck should always have safeties.
Right, yeah, it shouldn't be a thing you can switch off, but
yeah.
She switched them off, and if I remember correctly, I may be misremembering the finer points, she definitely died. I think she had her head crushed by Thor's hammer.
That's a good way to go,
well,
though. If you're gonna go.
Yeah.
That or get eaten by a whale. That's how I want to go.
In the holodeck, if there's infinite...
Well, that's why Chris is terrified of whales.
Yes, so that's like, wow, very low on my list of ways I'd like to die.
I don't know. I love whales. I've always been like a crazy like marine person. I think the first thing I ever wanted to be as a child was a mermaid.
Oh, same, for
yeah,
sure.
I know, right? It would be great. Not that kind of mermaid.
The ocean is full of terror that wants you dead.
And Ames would be one of those if she was a mermaid.
I will want you dead. That's the thing. I would fit in with those people perfecttly.
Plus, in reality, unless it's a killer whale or maybe a sperm whale, a whale can't actually eat you to death. You would just drown inside its mouth.
Aren't killer whales not actually whales?
Well, no, they aren't.
They're dumb.
Whoa, let's get off of whales. Nature's terror. So anyway, Practical Joker, first holodeck malfunction.
Yeah, it's funny. Apparently Roddenberry wanted like a holodeck or holodeck equivalent in third season TOS, but when the budgets went so fucking low, and then of course when Gene walked away from the third season, they were like, yeah, we can't do this with third season level budgets.
With our shoestring budget.
The thing is, the holodeck... It seems like it would be pretty cheap.
Yeah, big white room, and then you just bring them on location.
Right.
They couldn't go on location in third season.
Oh, that's right. That's
at
right.
all. They did not have the money to do that.
They couldn't even go in the 30-mile zone, like where they normally shoot everything.
But also, I mean, they already had the big white room from when they met Jem, so...
That was a black room.
Oh, well, they could have done that then.
Yeah, that's true. It could have been a big black room.
It never occurred to me that they were never on location anytime in season 3.
Man, they couldn't it's what it was. It's gas. They didn't have enough money for gas.
That's probably literally
even though they're only driving like 28 miles
or 15 feet.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we can do the holodeck, but only if every week they decide they want to visit a 1960s TV studio.
If every week we're just going to Gene's office.
They fuck up in one of them and they forget, so like they're filming a scene and in the background you can see like Takei having lunch in the canteen, but in like civilian clothes or the clothes from one of the many movies he was always off shooting apparently. Just looks, you see him wave.
Oh, hey guys.
They don't realize it though,
so it's in
the cut.
I mean, Voyager kind of did with their present day episode with the where they went back to 1996. Los Angeles, baby.
God. So yeah, Practical Joker. Yeah, there wasn't really. I don't know. It's hard to talk about because there was just a series of wacky shenanigans, and then oh wait, it's the computer. How do we take control of the ship back?
But never forget Emrys, whatever the fuck her name is, laughing like that, fucking Eric's laughing like that.
Oh my god! All the laughing. There was already so much laughing that it just became innocuous, but watching animation of people laughing when their faces don't move and only their mouths move and their eyes stay the same, they don't get like the happy wrinkles around the eyes or anything. It's just the mouth.
Eric's with his fucking tongue just like hanging there. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
That's how he hits on Mraz.
The Kirk is a jerk shirt.
The Kirk.
Oh my god, that was great.
Has anyone cosplayed the Kirk is a jerk shirt?
Someone must have. I mean, someone has cosplayed Nurse Chapel with her left arm miscolored red.
Nice.
So, yeah.
What?
But that
actually?
Yeah, no, someone at a convention. She's in an otherwise all blue TOS uniform, but her left sleeve is red.
Stop.
Yep.
Who the fuck has...
That's fine attention to detail.
It's also very easy.
It's also why
Kirk is a jerk.
I mean...
But I've seen that picture before, and that's why one of our earlier episodes is called Kirk's a Jerk. It was a little homage to this moment.
Yeah.
That, and of course, the common theme of the episodes was Kirk was in a fucking mood, so it just seemed like, ha-ha!
Also,
now, why did he still put on the uniform?
Apparently all of his clean uniforms had that on it.
Wear a coat.
Like... I don't
understand
how the
just
uniforms
go shirtless, Kirk. You're fine.
Like, what happens? So when you take off your clothes, at the end of the night, what do you do with them?
He said he got them from the chute, so I mean, I guess.
Is there just like a clothing chute?
I guess so.
I guess if they're made out of algae, maybe it just like recycles clothes every day.
Yeah, maybe they just break it down. Yeah, they break down the clothes.
Why create all that that gray water waste from washing clothes, and you could just break it down to its constituent elements and replicate a new one every day.
Yeah.
Which is why it never made sense that there's so many like instances in TNG where old uniforms are being worn. It's like, just replicate a new one, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to wear that old one.
You do not have someone running the laundromat on the ship.
Although, actually, Star Trek 6, they apparently do have a laundromat, because when they're tearing the ship apart...
Really?
Well, not a laundromat, but they have a laundry room.
They do.
That doesn't make sense, because in the motion picture, and we'll get to this very soon, actually, the whole point of the costumes in the motion picture was that they're one use only. You go into your sonic shower, the clothes form on you, and then at the end of the day, you throw them away, and then they go into the material to make new uniforms again.
Yeah, but the uniforms...
I'm sorry. Really?
I
didn't think I could hate those uniforms more than I did.
They're actually not uniforms. It's just body paint.
I don't know. We could see that bulge.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's
just fucking...
I feel like breaking down and rebuilding clothes every day would be more energy wasted than just washing the guy.
I don't know. You don't know how much Kirk wets himself.
Yeah,
I have a pretty good idea. I couldn't find any Kirk as a jerk cosplay.
And everyone always says, why do we never see the bathrooms on the ship? It's because there are none. People just piss and shit themselves and then just get a fresh clothes.
We do eventually see a shower in Enterprise, but I don't remember if we see a toilet.
I was going to say, we know that there's showers because on the Naked Time, someone has frozen to death in the shower with their clothes on.
But that was on
a station
post.
Yeah.
Well, they do refer to the sonic shower, so I'm going to say no toilets. You just piss and shit yourself.
Maybe you just shit.
It's like the astronaut. It's like the astronaut diapers, like that astronaut lady wore when she went to go
to Florida to fucking kill her ex-husband or whatever.
Yeah, so it's
those are just normal adult diapers, to be honest, probably.
So yeah.
Wait, so really what they need are uniforms that just have a wormhole in the bottom of them.
Yeah, wow, I really didn't think I could hate the motion picture uniforms more than I already did, but here we are. I mean...
We'll see more of them soon, don't worry.
If we go by most of what we see aside from the cartoon, right? In 6, we see them going through the ship's laundry. We see them going through, like, crew members' chests of drawers to go... So they keep stocks of uniforms. I know people are, the Kelvin timeline, but in Star Trek Beyond, Kirk has a closet full of his uniform like 12 times over. It seems more likely they do actually just do laundry. Anyway, back to the point, which is this episode where we've mostly talked about uniforms so far.
I liked this episode, though. I thought it was fun. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it, because like you said, it was just a bunch of stupid practical jokes.
It was a little bit shore leave, but on the Enterprise for me.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Because it's like all these wacky things keep happening and we're not sure why.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked it better than shore leave, for sure. Leave.
I'll admit, too, maybe part of the effect was lost for us because you had missed it, Caitlin, but the episode description on Netflix very blatantly gave away the fact that it's the computer that's fucked up.
Oh, that was stupid.
So from the off, I'm just like, all right, is the computer gonna... There we go, it started malfunctioning.
Once the computer started giggling, I was like, oh shit, it's definitely the computer and that's great, but no.
Yeah,
you could say it's because it's Majel Barrett, but she's everybody, so you don't know who it could actually be.
That's true. Is it Maress? Also, I think Maress and Eric's are definitely fucking because they were having lunch together.
Ew. They're the only ones who will keep each other company.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching this episode because it was so silly and funny, but at
It's
the
a
same
kid's
time,
show. Every so often, it's definitely a kid's show.
Yeah,
and every
but
so
you know
often,
what?
it's just terrible.
You know what? I would much rather have episodes like this that are fun and humorous, even if they're not like great.
Like the stupid Tribbles episode this season?
Well, that one I didn't care for.
The series?
I didn't care for that one as much. But this one I was like, okay, this is just like fun, you know. But compared to like garbage, like the
Bem
and the Magics and
the fucking Magics.
and whatever that fucking horse shit last week was. What was that?
No, I don't even know. But I definitely didn't feel my usual, like, fuck, is it over yet?
I did like seeing Scotty get pied in the face. That was great. That was nice.
And Kirk is a jerk. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
I think that's a great thing.
And he wore it for some reason.
How did the Romulans not scan the second ship and realize it wasn't a ship?
Well, you see.
Yes.
They didn't know how to operate the Klingon controls.
That wasn't good continuity, that they still fucking flew
Yeah, they're
Klingon
still
ships.
buzzing around in whatever those are. If I had to techno-babble this one, though, I would say that the computer rerouted some energy through the deflector dish to create a sensor ghost.
Okay.
So that when they scanned the balloon, it was somehow redirecting their rays so that they were getting information back from the actual Enterprise, but scaled up to match the balloon, thus doubling up the image.
Was the balloon supposed to be bigger than the Enterprise?
Yeah, because they mentioned being
Okay.
20 times the
It was
size
hard
of
to
their
tell
ships.
because the animation is terrible.
Right, but yeah, it was supposed to be significantly larger.
I like to imagine that wasn't something that the computer created. That the Enterprise
They've
just
always just had that.
equipped with a giant Enterprise balloon in case they need to. In case they're like
Fill it with candy?
They're like there's like a surprise Macy's Day parade or something. That they need to
They
be
find
in.
a really big pool in outer space and
Yeah.
they want to have a floaty.
Listen, guys, it's Spock's birthday. We have to surprise him.
It's like a life raft, just like pull cord in case of emergency.
I love the idea that they're always ready in case there's a parade.
Yes.
It's like, look, we fall through time loops all the time. We never know when it might be Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Hey, it was 4th of July in that fucking cloud. Happy New Year!
God bless America.
It's like and like there's like some poor ensign that as soon as the computer deployed, he's like, it took me like 6 hours to fold.
That would suck.
Damn it.
I was really hoping it was going to be like, like sometimes like planes will just have little signs on, they'll go by beaches and stuff. I was hoping it'd be one of them, like, fuck you, Romulans.
It's
but
just Kirk is a jerk.
and the Romulans are like, duh.
We know.
No shit, Sherlock. But then it turns out there's like, I don't know, photon torpedoes in it or something. I don't know.
Whoops.
Oh, Kirk is a jerk. So good.
Yeah, the computer's a jerk.
I will say, I was thinking this past couple of weeks, I feel like the voice acting has gotten better.
Maybe.
Everyone in general feels a little less wooden.
I think we might be just getting used to it more.
Maybe.
It's still not great.
Oh no, it's not great, but I feel like it's better than it was. But again, it may be adaptation.
I did notice that they actually hired some additional voice actors
Yeah.
for the next episode.
Yeah, they did. I was blown away.
The aliens were not any of our regulars.
Yeah.
Nice.
Did
I didn't look it up.
it didn't give you any?
Not that I saw. I didn't go into the...
Because I swear that
Albatross
one guy
ones.
kind of sounded like someone, but I couldn't think of who.
Yeah.
Albatross was a weird one.
Well, what connection did the name of the episode have? Like,
An albatross is like a burden, really.
well,
Yeah.
that's
From
it's
the
a
stupid poem.
It's a bird,
It is also a bird.
but the idea is that they killed the albatross, and then bad luck came to the ship.
Yeah,
right?
in Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which I fucking hate that poem. It's so fucking
very
dumb.
overrated.
And the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
I just remember I read that poem in like high school. I remember just being irate at it because
I don't know.
there's a line that's something to the effect of, around his neck the albatross was hung because he killed an albatross and he felt guilty about it because they're cool birds, they're giant, they float for fucking months on end. And then it meant that later he actually did hang a literal albatross around his neck. And bad things happened, and he felt guilty about it. And
Right. So, but yeah, exactly. So that's where the term albatross comes from. But what does it have to do with this episode?
Maybe because McCoy was feeling
Killed a
like
bird.
he killed these people and now
No, his bad luck is coming back to him.
Right, because he was definitely having some, like, bad feelings as well. Like, he was like, oh, I don't know, Jim, what if I did kill these people?
You should leave me in jail because I have to stand trial.
Well, yeah, I think he was worried that he may have been responsible.
I think it makes enough sense. I feel like there could have been a better title, but whatever.
I would have called it...
McCoy's on trial.
Like, if the episode had been more about, like... If it had set it up in such a way that you could legitimately think maybe he had fucked up somehow and more time was spent on McCoy struggling with this concern instead of this weird detective thing they did.
That wouldn't have been good for a kid's show.
If there were like video that surfaced of him injecting
that would have been a good DS9 script.
There could have been video of him injecting plague virus into people on the planet.
And then Finney would have done it.
And then it turns out that it was actually the plague victim.
Then McCoy gets on Twitter and is like, oh, fake news.
And it turns out the plague victim didn't even have plague to begin with. They had... Chickenpox.
So, it turns out the voice of...
Chickenpox pie.
Of, what's his name there? Dramos or whatever?
Demos.
Was Lou Scheimer.
Lou
one
Scheimer.
Of the co-founders of Filmation and a producer on Star Trek, the animated series.
Oh, so they didn't actually hire actors. They just got who was ever hanging around the office that day.
He voiced 4 characters on the show, including some random Romulan and one of the fish monsters from the Ambergris element.
Well, the fish
It does not show what the 4th one was. So yeah, there we go.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in any case, the Albatross,
It's a stupid episode.
The Dramian people, they're big yellow, like, Bart Simpson knockoffs, kind of, because they're just...
Pre-offs.
Ooh, there you go.
They all had different varieties of butt heads.
They look like fire hydrants.
I'll give them credit for that, because far too often, especially in, this cartoon, but in general in science fiction, like, you do wind up with not a ton of variety in alien species.
They've done it a couple. They've had some variety.
Arax. He's Arax.
No, what I mean is within a single like...
Oh,
I remember the Kazinti, they all looked distinct from each other.
Were the Kazinti?
The cat people.
Yeah, the cat people did all look different.
The ones from the slaver weapon.
Did they? I mean, I remember there was that one that looked particularly bedraggled, but aside from that...
The other two look different.
But yeah, these guys, like, had totally different shapes.
Yeah, no, they were, like,
they all looked terrible. They looked like they were designed by a 6-year-old.
True, but I mean, they were all distinct individuals, which I appreciate.
Well, if you ask anybody that's seen the Discovery trailer, they'll tell you all about how different Klingons look.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't care for the Dramians. I mean, yes, I think, variety is a nice touch, but I feel like they looked fucking awful.
Oh, they look terrible, but I appreciate that they were each terrible in their own magical way. Ugh. Magical, squishy way. Also, I love that they're at the beginning, it's like, yes, this program is to help build bridges between our people. They arrest McCoy. We've heard about your so-called justice on this planet. It's like, wow, you really don't like these guys. How much were you biting your tongue during that initial ceremony, Kirk?
Aww.
Fucking Diplomat of the Year award, you jackass.
That just seems like such a ill-timed why did they present the warrant then? Why did they, like...
Well, they wanted to get whatever benefit they were going to get from the trade first.
Well,
really,
it sounded like they already had... They even said that they had Federation approval for the warrant. So it's like the Federation knew that was going to happen. Kirk didn't.
Maybe they sent it off while they were... Because we don't know exactly how long they'd been there. Maybe sometime during the process they radioed off to be like, by the way, we want to arrest one of your guys. And the Federation was like, huh? If they're whatever. We're doing the crossword.
Trying to take a shit here.
Do. We're bad at diplomacy.
So bad.
Yeah. Well, now they know how to cure that plague.
Apparently is really closely related to some random other thing.
Saurian disease or something?
Something like that.
That's actually... Saurian disease is actually just liver damage.
Yeah, just too much brain. Oh, God, the coincidental fucking...
Aurora shit? Oh, my God. Why? Whose fucking idea was it that says, you know what? When there's an aurora around, you can get a disease that makes you different colors because aurora.
Also, let's talk about auroras, because an aurora, as I understand it, is an atmospheric...
Yeah, they're not in space.
There's no auroras in space.
No. I mean, there might be, but I'm sure
it's the interaction of the solar winds.
Yeah.
with the magnetospheres,
something
some
like
nonsense.
that.
But
you can see an aurora from space. Like I know they've sent back pictures of the aurora borealis from like the space shuttle to the space station.
Looks super cool.
But it is still clearly like a planet-bound effect.
Right. It's not unless there's like maybe there's a cloud of magnetized gases. In
but even then, that's
don't expect these people to understand how science works. The fuck.
But yeah, it's like it almost feels like they've confused auroras with nebulas. Yeah.
These are science fiction writers. Don't expect them to understand.
I don't think these are science fiction writers. I think
these are idiots.
Yeah. I don't think they know what they're doing.
No.
Because they basically, the other thing too is although these, yes, they are original, they're also just not very original.
Yeah.
Like they're not like repeats necessarily of plots.
Some of them are sequels to their plots.
Some of them are sequels.
Awfully close.
And some of them are pretty... Well, that
too.
zoo one was very close to the cage, obviously. I just feel like what was it? There was nothing really... Like, this one was kind of very similar in a lot of ways to Court Martial.
Oh, I was going to say Wolf in the Fold.
Well, yeah, Wolf in the Fold, too. Yeah. But, where essentially a member of the crew is held... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I guess, I don't know. It just seems to me like... And that's, I guess, maybe part of the reason why I kind of did appreciate the Practical Joker one, because that felt fairly original.
But like Ames said, it just in some ways also felt reminiscent of Shore Leave.
I don't know.
A less lethal version, certainly.
Yeah.
Well, at first.
But, yeah, I don't know. I'll be next week...
Yeah.
I'll be happy next week, because we'll be done with this.
Yeah, one left.
This was a mistake.
We should have skipped TAS.
Yes.
No, I'm glad we did.
We need to do it. I mean, it was a mistake for them to make TAS.
True.
Yes.
But we shouldn't let them forget they made it.
I'm glad that everyone got a paycheck.
Except Walter.
He got that one off.
Did that writing thing.
That's true.
He probably gets a nickel every time somebody buys TAS on DVD.
Yeah.
People buy
No,
TAS
nobody
on
bought
DVD?
this. It's all on Netflix.
Actually, I think it was recently re-released on Blu-ray, no less.
And, so I'm not sorry we did this.
I won't be in retrospect, but being in the middle of it right now, it hurts.
Yeah, I'm not sorry we did this, but I feel sorry for us we did this.
I'm honestly not that bothered. I've watched worse things.
Yeah, but...
Voluntarily, with no reason.
But see, I've not.
I'm sure you have.
Not this much. Okay. I mean, I have watched things
there are a series Jake and I watch specifically to talk about how bad they are, so...
Well, see, that's the thing. If this was, enjoyably bad, I'd be okay with it. But more often than not, it's just painful. I think I gave a lot of Voyager more of a chance than I initially would have back before I had to watch all of it because I was a kid. And I was just it took me a few years to realize I don't have to watch this just because it's Star Trek. Now I'm going to have to, but that's a different story.
Don't shit so much on Voyager. There's going to be some good Voyager.
I mean, honestly, I also, now having seen this, I'm sure Voyager's actually aged much better than I realized. I watched an episode of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and thought, nope. Nope. I will admit, I watched the whole first season of Daredevil, and it got okay, and then I gave up partway through season 2, because I'm no, this is just bad, not fun bad. This is something where if I wasn't doing it for this program, I would have stopped. I would have basically watched a few episodes and thought, my god, skipped to the other sequel episodes like Mud and whatever, and then, I will never rewatch any of this. Willingly.
That's probably true.
This has been painful. Some of these feel so long, and they are 22 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Drama queen.
Well, when are we going to watch all the fan productions of...
I don't know, when we run out of
everything
canonical
else.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
And if when this is all over and we don't want to all kill each other, we might just move on to Futurama instead. That's science fiction.
We'll have actually killed each other by then.
Well, yeah, but 7 years from now, and then we'll have Discovery tacked on. There'll be another new Star Trek show by the time where...
I have a feeling by the time we reach the end of this podcast, our format will have entirely changed. And it will just be screaming, grunting, and fart sounds There won't be any
I'll have
actual
left.
Star Trek content in it.
Now, is
So
that
it'll
is
just
that
be
a
And we'll have a
Cake,
million.
what you're saying.
We'll have
Wow.
millions and millions of like listeners that don't even know what Star Trek is, and they're just like, I love these guys. They're like just like Jake Paul on the radio.
Who the fuck? No, it doesn't matter.
Wasn't that guy on YouTube that got like arrested for? I don't know. Look him up.
Okay.
I think his name's Jake Paul. He sounds like a real dick.
Fair enough. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Is your de-evolution vision of our podcast because you and I just take over, or is it because like the state of the union is such that eventually we're all just going to be blithering
I think
idiots?
we're all going to be blithering idiots. Also, once we get that soundboard, that's what we want. That's going to be our first fundraiser. We're fundraising for a soundboard. Send us money so we can have a soundboard and we can make fart sounds. Here, I have a little demo.
No.
I have a demo right here. Here we go. That's going to warp. That's firing phasers. That's torpedoes. And that's just flying through space.
No, that's Picard flushing his personal...
Yes, that's
Toilet.
Picard in his head.
This has been episode 48 of A Star to Steer Her By. We sort of talked about episodes and gave you a little preview of next week when we wrap up the series
Finally.
with 2 last episodes and some
Yes.
final thoughts. Next week it's over and we're free. And we are looking at... Yes. How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth. I already hate the title. It's so fucking overblown. And The Counterclock Incident.
You know, Touch the Sky, one of your favorite episodes, had a pretty overblown title.
That's true. I was actually thinking the
Yeah,
same
but it
thing.
earned its title. I feel
It
like
did.
also before we saw the episode, I think I made fun of the title.
We did.
Yeah.
Caitlin did too.
This
Yeah,
one,
'cause
I
it was
feel
stupid.
like
It's a
it's
stupid
not
title.
going to earn its title.
I'm going to... I'm not going to... I would not bet against you in that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to reserve judgment.
No, you aren't. Please find and like our Facebook page, A Star to Steer Her By. We are on Twitter and Tumblr as SSHB Podcast. If you use iTunes, consider giving us a rating and a review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting application. For A Star to Steer Her By, this has been Chris.
This has been Ames.
This has been Caitlin.
And this is always Jake.
Thank you very much for listening.
Be sure to tip your yeoman.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta.
I think anyone's ever put a blue Yeti up their asshole.
Probably.
I don't want to know where this one's been.
We don't talk about it. Yeah. No, it just seems like something that I'm sure somebody's tried.
Now I'm going to try it.
It is
Cool.
technically... Not even it's her microphone. She just lets us borrow it.
Do
so
whatever you want with it, I guess.
If she wants to stick it up her ring piece and hear what a fart sounds like from inside, we can't stop her.
So I've had this discussion with people before. The sound of the fart,
Fucking Christ.
is it the hole or the cheeks?
It's the hole.
Yeah.
I believe it's the hole as well, but I've had this argument with somebody that legitimately thought it was the cheeks.
Well, then people with like skinny no asses wouldn't have farts. And
Yeah.
they have farts.
Yeah, and like I'm not saying maybe there is some component of cheek.
Yeah, maybe bassier if you have a bigger ass.
Yeah, and if it's like a particularly windy one,
Mine are
you
pretty
know.
high pitched sometimes, and I got a lot of ass.
Like the idea is that it's like your
You can
cheeks basically
certainly-
clap together really
You
fast.
can certainly clench and muffle with cheeks,
Like-
too. Like, the cheeks can play a role.
like the reed of an oboe.
But I mean, like,
Wait.
you can hear pets fart, and they don't really have butt cheeks. They just have little assholes just
Yeah,
staring at
little
you.
It's like, well,
assholes.
see, the asshole is like the air out of the balloon.
Yeah, and
You
something
know?
bad happens.
Yeah. You ever have a balloon where you let the air out really slow and it makes like a whiny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you have farts like that too.
I was definitely walking to the train station with a coworker the other day. You know how sometimes you think you know what your fart's gonna sound like? You're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be quiet.
Nice. Was there a reaction or was it swept under the rug?
No, because I immediately, like, just blushed and went, oh god, I'm so sorry.
Nice.
You farted on a... Was this with other people, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that you did this.
I didn't... Well, I mean, I meant to, but I thought it was going to be, like, an SBD. And the wind was, like, blowing in the right direction that the smell would get wafted away anyway, so it had been silent. There would have been no evidence. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It happens to the best of us.
I know.
At least it was just gas, right? Like,
Yeah.
it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, your pants could have fallen down. You could have had a test in the morning that you didn't study for. Or your teeth fall out. I get that dream a lot.
I still occasionally have, like, fucking schoolwork-related dreams, and I have been out of school for a decade.
I have the you have to go back to elementary school because you didn't finish one class dreams, which makes no sense because I have a fucking bachelor's degree.
Are you Billy Madison?
Yeah, isn't that the plot of that terrible Adam Sandler movie?
That's redundant. You'd say Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Original joke.